Hello? Is it working? Hang on a sec. Camera doesn't actually say which microphone it's using. Oh well. Okay. Hi YouTube. Not made one of these in a while. Okay, so I figured something out. Something which everyone probably already knows. But I was sitting on my PlayStation and I thought, well, I'm going to play some games. And I pulled out a game and I pulled out Destiny, the Taken King. Now, what is this? This is Destiny, but it includes the Taken King expansion. It also includes expansion 1 and expansion 2 plus Taken King. And you say, oh great. Does it? No, it doesn't. So this is what I was thinking. This is where I've come to this conclusion. Games, 60 quid, and then after a year they were 10 quid, and second-hand game shops are going out of business. But people like EA, Activision, Bungie, and all of them, they're still making money, and they're pushing loot crates and they're pushing DLCs. And why are they pushing DLCs? Well, this is what I thought of. They're pushing DLCs because you can't resell a DLC, as I've just found out. So, what do I mean? Okay, so here's Destiny, and inside Destiny you have the Destiny disc. Okay, there it is there. Okay, so there's the Destiny disc. And then, inside the Legendary Edition Taken King version of Destiny, what's inside? Well, the Destiny disc. It's the same bloody disc. It's the same disc. There's no difference. I was really confused, so I put the disc in. I thought, oh well, you know, the DLC must be on the disc. No, they give you exactly the same disc. They do a different cover on the box, but it's exactly the same disc. So why do they call this then the Taken King? Well, what do? They give you a code. And then you have to go onto the PlayStation Store and you have to you have to put the code in. But there's a time limit on the code. And this code ran out in 2016. There you go, it's there somewhere. It ran out in 2016. So that means that it's completely useless. So what I have now is I have 2 copies of Destiny. So Game has managed to sell me this. I don't know when I bought it. It was probably... Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because I put the code in and somebody else has already used it. So what I have here is I have Destiny. I've got Destiny twice. So I've got 2 copies of Destiny. And I don't have the DLC. The DLC is not on the disc. The code is useless. And then I thought to myself, well, there you go. That was Bungie's, Activision, EA, and all the rest of them all along. That's their plan, isn't it? You sell the games, they could give these things away for free. It makes no difference. What they'll do is they'll sell you the DLC. Because the DLC, once you've paid for it, and the price will always be the price that they sell it for. It will always be whatever they choose to sell. You can't go down Game and get a second-hand DLC. There's no such thing. Not anymore. Now, there used to be second-hand DLCs. So this was Fallout 3. Fallout 3 had DLC on disc. So you could get the Pit and Mothership Zeta and Broken Steel and all of the expansions. You could get these on another disc, which I've got. So you put your Fallout 3 in, and then you put your DLC disc in, and that's it. You've got your DLC for life. There's no codes, and you can resell it. I bought it second hand. It cost me £6, and I got all the DLC for £6. And then later the Game of the Year edition came along, and you get all the DLC on disc. Not with Destiny though. So with Destiny, you buy this Taken King, which has a time limit on it, and it doesn't say it anywhere on the outside of the box. So you don't find this out until you open it. I've just decided to open it, and there you go. That's my rant anyway. What was my rant? My rant was game companies are pushing DLC because they're guaranteed to make money from it. I just got Battlefield 1. It's like, great, £10, Battlefield 1. It was £60 last year, now I've got it for a tenner. Great. But I only get to play like about 3 maps, I think it is. If you want the rest of the maps, you have to buy the DLC. And the DLC is the same price now as it was when it came out. Why? Because you can't resell it. Therefore, the value never goes down. You can't say, oh, look, there's a million DLCs out there now, so we're going to have to put the price down to compete with all these second-hand copies of DLC. No! The price never changes. Why does it never change? Go onto the PlayStation Store right now. Look at all the DLCs. They're all the same price. And that's it. That's the plan, isn't it? Forget the price of the game. The game doesn't matter. They're going to get you with the DLC. If you want, the rest of the content. The full game. If you want the full game. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Rant over.